We should be live.
All right, guys. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Snap Delivered Company Overview. Tony Swantek here. We've got a very special guest who's going to be joining us to go over a pretty special promotion that's going to be available for anyone that gets started between now and the end of the month. And tonight, we're just going to go through a quick company presentation. If this is the first time you're hearing about Snap, I can promise you it's probably not going to be the last. We're going to go over enough information to know whether you'd want to learn more or know whether you want to partner up with us to really disrupt the restaurant delivery space. And I'm going to go a little bit into the information right now. The company was founded recently. We pre-launched in June of 2021, just a few months ago. We're participating in the $100+ billion restaurant delivery space, capitalizing on the massive growth in that space. And we're really projected to disrupt a lot of the major players within the industry because of the model that we utilize. The restaurant delivery industry is booming. Over 60% of consumers are ordering delivery or takeout at least once a week here in the US. As big as the industry is, it's projected to hit over $200 billion annually by 2025, according to Forbes magazine. So if you have an industry that's going from 100 billion plus to 200 billion plus in just a few short years, and you can position yourself within that industry, it creates an opportunity for massive financial gain. There's multi-billion-dollar players in the industry like DoorDash, Grubhub, Uber, $100 million players like Waiter, Delivery.com, Eat Street. The thing about these big companies, they do everything exactly the same way, which fortunately for us, it creates a lot of unhappy customers that are getting nickel and dimed, hidden fees, unhappy drivers who some of these companies are even taking portions of the driver tips and keeping it for themselves. And then it definitely creates unhappy restaurants. When you see what these companies charge their restaurants, you'll understand why the restaurants aren't too pleased with all of these providers. If you look at the regular restaurant, the average restaurant using delivery, let's say you owned a restaurant doing about 20 orders a day. The average delivery order was about $40. That would create around $99,000 in annual fees to these companies like Uber, DoorDash, Grubhub, Eat Street, all these providers that charge restaurants the exact same way. The beauty of Snap Delivers, if you owned a restaurant that did the exact same amount of deliveries, instead of paying $99,000 in fees, you'd pay $14,600 in fees. And so you'd save over $84,000 a year because Snap's driver picked up your food instead of Uber or DoorDash or Grubhub's driver. And as long as the driver was professional, as long as they got the food to the client in a timely manner, wouldn't you choose to save $84,000+ a year as a restaurant owner? All restaurant owners would. That's the beauty of Snap. We don't charge a high commission fee, anywhere from 20 to sometimes as high as 40% that these big companies are charging restaurants. We have a flat rate, $2 for our restaurant partners. It's $1 if somebody does takeout, $2 if they do delivery. You do a $100 order, it's $2. You do a $50 order, it's $2. That's it. There's no big percentages. You're not paying hundreds of thousands of dollars in fees if you're doing a ton of orders. Restaurants are paid instantly. Drivers are paid instantly. We never peel off part of the driver's fees. We never peel off part of the driver's tip. They keep all of that. And there's no hidden service fees. Our customers don't get a surprise at the end of checkout wondering what this fee's for or that's fees for. Everything's transparent, which creates a lot of happy customers, a lot of happy drivers, and for sure, our flat $2 fee creates a lot of happy restaurants. Our executive team is really second to none. These people have built up $1 billion in businesses over several industries, over several years, recruited and trained teams of over 300,000 people worldwide in over 165 countries. The beauty of this organization is it's really geared to disrupt the entire marketplace and to create viral growth. That's what all of us have done in our past, and that's what we're going to do here in this delivery space. The beauty of getting started with Snap is it's free. There's no risk. You can download the Snap app, get in, start referring customers to the Snap Delivered app. When they order, you get paid. You can refer restaurants. When they order, fill a delivery, you get paid. You can refer drivers using the Snap app. When they do a delivery, you get paid. Costs you nothing. So you might be referring people to Uber Eats, DoorDash, Grubhub. They're giving you nothing. Maybe they give you a little discount on your next order. We're going to pay you for the life of the customer. If you refer me as a customer, every time I order, dollar, dollar. Doesn't sound like a lot, but what if you referred 100 customers? They're ordering a few times a week. Imagine making a few $100s a week because you referred a bunch of friends, family, contacts you have through Instagram, Facebook, your phone, social media, whatever, and they're ordering over and over and over again. Costs you nothing. You can start earning. But if you do say, hey, you know what? I can recruit a bunch of restaurants. I can bring in a bunch of restaurant owners. I can actually bring in customers who will bring in other customers and they'll bring in restaurants and drivers. If you're sitting there going, I've got a background building teams. I've got a big network. I know how to manage and train organizations. You might want to become what we call a manager. And there is a fee for that. It's $299 per year. But that allows you to not only earn on your referrals, but as you build a team, you can start getting paid on their restaurants that they refer, on their drivers, on their customer base. And that can be very lucrative. There's 4 ways to earn with Snap. You can refer customers, drivers, restaurants, or you can refer other managers. It's very lucrative how we pay out. Again, if you refer a restaurant, whether you're a free customer or whether you sign up as a manager or you promote up our compensation plan, you make 40 cents per order. Doesn't sound like a lot, but it can add up. Every customer, $1 an order every time that customer orders. But let's go into how that can actually add up and why this industry is booming like it is. See, if you referred 10 restaurants to the Snap family, and let's say those 10 restaurants each delivered 20 orders per day. Now, that's not breaking any records. Some restaurants will do less than that. There are restaurants we have that do hundreds of deliveries on a daily basis. But let's just say you had 10 restaurants, 20 orders a day. That's 6,000 orders a month throughout all your restaurants. You've got 6,000 orders times 40 cents an order. That's $2,400 per month residually. As long as those restaurants keep doing their 20 orders a day, which most of them will, you're going to make $2,400 a month, $2,400 a month, $2,400 a month. And that adds up. I mean, the bottom line is you could add more restaurants, you could add drivers, you could do different things. Let's look at if you added drivers. Let's say you had 10 restaurants and 10 drivers. That's $3,600 a month if those drivers were helping deliver those 6,000 orders throughout the month. So that gives you a raise right there. What if you introduced 3 other individuals that decided they wanted to get restaurants, drivers, refer them to the Snap family, and they did the same thing you did, 10 restaurants, 10 drivers. You make 10% off what we call your level 1, off all their restaurants, all their drivers. That's $5,400 a month on top of the $3,600 you're making off of your own restaurants and your own drivers. What if those 3 did the same thing you did? They said, you know what? I've got 3 people that might be interested in bringing in restaurants and drivers. So now you've got 9 people on what we call your level 2. That's 90 restaurants, 90 drivers. If they each go out and get 10 each, on that level, you'd make $8,100 per month residually off that level. If you add up levels 2, levels 1, and then your own personals, it's over $17,000 a month because you went out and got 10 restaurants, 10 drivers, helped 3 people do the same thing, and they help 3 people do the same thing. Now, it'll never work out geometrically perfect. Some people are going to introduce 0 people to our company. We have individuals that within their first 30 days have introduced over 60 people to our company. So this assumes you don't find anybody like that. You find somebody who gets 3 and they get 3. But even if you weren't even close to this example, say you did 10% of that, that's still over $1,700 a month. Right now, think about it. If you had an extra $1,700, is there something positive you could do for yourself or your family with that $1,700 this month? And what if you knew it was coming again next month and the month after and the month after and the month after? Could you drive a nicer car? Could you pay off your student loans? Could you pay off your mortgage much faster? Could you set up your tuition for your children? Could you set up your retirement? Could you set up a great vacation every single year? By the end of the year, every single month, you knew 1,700. Now, what if you did get to bigger than that? Then obviously you could do different things. Your retirement would get a lot stronger and stronger and stronger. Your kids would go to a lot more expensive school without having to worry about paying for it or taking out student loans. So the bottom line is we're not here to set your goals. We're here to help you achieve your goals. If you're sitting here going, I just want to make an extra $500 or $1,000 a month, we can help you do that with Snap. If you said, man, I would like to make, $10,000 a month, I'd like to make this a career, we can help you do that. And not everybody's going to get to that point, but not everybody wants to work hard enough to get to that point. And it's not going to be easy, but it's not rocket science. It's inviting restaurants to pay way less per delivery than they're currently paying with all the big companies. It's a pretty easy pitch to restaurant owners. It's not hiding fees to customers. It's a pretty easy pitch to customers to know, one, they're not going to get screwed around at the end of checkout, and two, they can get paid for referring other customers, drivers, and restaurants. It's a better pitch than all the other companies have combined. And the beauty of this is we'll train you exactly how to do it. If you're sitting there going, you know what, this looks really amazing, I could definitely use an extra $500 or an extra $1,000 a month. I know some restaurant owners. I know some people who want to make extra money who would drive. I know some people who order delivery and they might as well order through Snap instead of ordering through these big companies that are nickel and diming and hiding fees on them. But what do I say? Like, what do I say to a restaurant that I want to sign up? We'll teach you exactly what to say. We have videos you can share with the restaurant, so you don't even have to say anything. You just share the video, and then you can connect them with us and let us take them through the sign-up process. If you're sitting there going, well, what do I say to a potential driver? We have videos you can show to the driver. We have people that can help you learn how to run ads on Facebook, how to run ads on Indeed.com. We teach people how to canvas for drivers to come online and start requesting information from you, sending you Facebook messages, sending you emails going, I'd like to become a driver. What do I do next? And then we have emails. This is how you respond to them. This is how you answer their questions. This is how you get them signed up. We'll train you every step of the way. You're in business for yourself with Snap, but you're never by yourself with Snap. That's the beauty of the program that our CEO has put together. And to wrap up this evening, he's a gentleman that's always thinking of ways to give back to the field. He's somebody that was a mentor to me. I remember when I started in the networking industry, in the direct sales industry back in December of 2000. He's somebody that the whole company talked about. The whole company wanted to learn from him. He was one of the top trainers globally, not just in that company, but in the entire industry. And I remember I was blessed enough to have him come into my office one time and do a training. It was the first time I ever got to hear from him. I'd been in business for about 2 months. The information that he shared with me, the training and leadership that he shared with me, I've utilized every day in my business life since that day in January that he came to Kansas and shared his knowledge with me. And I've been learning from him ever since. He's somebody that's not only mentored people to be, successful in business, but he's mentored people to be successful in life. It's one thing to be extremely successful yourself. This gentleman's made millions of dollars. He started several successful companies, but he's helped many other people do exactly the same thing. Very few people that are that successful come back down from the mountaintop and help others make that climb. And that's what I really love about this individual. He's not too good or too busy or too successful to come back down and help all of us find the same level of success that he's found for himself. And he introduced a promotion to me about an hour ago. We kind of brainstormed a little bit, but the bottom line is he came up with this idea. And I just responded to him. I was like, that's legit, man. I was like, that's going to be legit. And I said, you've got to share it with people. And I would share it with them as soon as possible. So I basically asked him if he would come on to kind of wrap up our call and share a little bit about his vision, where he sees Snap going in the future, and to share a little bit about this promotion that he's putting together for the month of September. So without further ado, I want to bring on one of my mentors and our CEO and founder, Mr. Paul Michael.
There's two things I want to say real quickly. First of all, I want to meet this guy you're talking about too. Like, it's funny to me. Like, Tony starts talking and I'm like, man, this guy sounds good. Like, really, really good. I know he's talking about me, but it's like almost you feel like you're at a funeral. Like somebody's talking great about you and it's like, man, I was really good when I was alive. But Tony said nice things, but listen, the thing about it is, like, he and I got trained by a lot of the same people. None of the stuff that I came up with is something that I taught was anything I came up with. My background is I waited tables in a country club in Texas. I was living with 3 guys in a house. I had no car, and I met a guy that was worth 30 or 40 million. And he goes, listen, if you keep doing what you're doing, what do you think you're going to end up in 5 years? And I said, well, I live with 3 guys in a house right now with no car. We'll probably be homeless living with 7 guys in an RV or something like that. I mean, the way my life was going, that's where it was going. Second thing I wanted to say is, Tony talks about me mentoring him. I'm the one that still has hair. Tony doesn't. So I'm pretty sure it was the other way around. I mean, I probably caused his hair to fall out. But you know, Tony in his own right has been as successful as any person I know. And he's not one of those people that goes and looks for the limelight. He doesn't go out and look. He's just, when it comes to a business, he got into the marketing industry that we were in 20, whatever it was years ago. And he just saw it. He got it and said, you know what? I'm going to pay attention. And there's certain people that you click with. You know, off and on for the last 20 something years, we've been in companies together. We haven't been in companies together. We've helped train each other's people. We've showed up for different events, but we always, anytime we had an idea, we talked about it. And Tony's the one that actually got me in the restaurant delivery industry. When I met, they started, him and his partner, Mike, started talking to me about the industry and delivery. And I did not listen. If you're sitting here tonight going, I did not grow up thinking I wanted to be a delivery person or be in delivery. I didn't either. I never thought that. I didn't go, man, if I can just get into delivery, you know, I could have done that when I was in high school. But what I started realizing is when Tony and them started talking about it, they talked about how the industry was growing and how they already had 30 or 40 cities, I think, at that time. They ended up getting their business to over 300 cities, I think, and ending up in the Inc. 500 magazine. And they were doing it the way it was done before. So they were extremely successful at it. And I didn't, me being the person I am, I just didn't understand how restaurants would pay. I didn't think long-term that they would. And now restaurants are starting to get their brains bashed in for too long. And they're going, this isn't right. They're looking at it going, you know what? We were paying these fees and it was okay when we had full restaurants. Because a lot of times when a restaurant owner, I have friends of mine that are partners in this business that they look at, they're busy. They look at the numbers, but when you got a full restaurant of people, you may not look at the numbers as heavily. But when the pandemic hit and they started only doing delivery and that you're paying 15 to 30, sometimes 35% and upwards when they add in fees and raise prices of food, like there's all kinds of things that go on and they started looking at it. So now when Tony and I started, when I first started with Tony and them doing this, and my biggest joke is I didn't really understand delivery until I got divorced and delivered a bunch of money to my ex-wife. And then I figured out I was decent at delivery, so I might as well get into it on this side. But when we would go in and talk to restaurants, Tony would mentor me in this industry. He'd go, listen, go talk to restaurants. And he knows I was not great at it. I didn't love it. It wasn't my forte. But I would walk in and you had to explain to a restaurant owner what delivery was at that time. They didn't understand. They thought delivery was pizza and Chinese, and that was about it. And now they all understand. So now when you walk in and you ask them, the question you ask them, hey, how much do you pay in fees to these guys? First of all, they might say a bunch of cuss words. And second of all, a lot of them know exactly. One of our guys walked into a place last week and he asked them, they said, I know exactly what we pay, $6,000 to this place and $2,000 to another place. So they know. So our job has become very, very easy. And we put this whole program together so that average people can get into this. You don't have to be above average. You don't have to have a PhD. All you got to do is be willing to talk to people. Are you going to have to get out of your comfort zone a little bit? Maybe. Are you going to have to go out and talk to people? Absolutely. But we have put together, and we're just scratching the surface. We have just barely launched our company in the last few days, and our apps are not completely done. Everything's working on it, but we're still working. We have criteria that people have to have. They have to have 10 cities, 10 drivers, and a 5-mile radius to open a city. We have cities ready to pop all over the country right now, but the opportunity now is so much bigger than it's going to be 3 years from now. 3 years from now, a lot of restaurants are going to be taken and people are going to be making that residual income. A lot of drivers are going to ought to be working with the thing. If you think I'm looking down on the side, sorry, I forget my camera's up here. So I'm not the smartest person. Some of you are going, if this idiot can do this and he's looking to the right the whole time, I'm in. I just keep looking at my picture like I'm talking to myself or Tony. But this thing is growing so fast. We put over 600 reps into our company in less than 60 days with zero app, with nothing going on. All we had is our concept, our idea. So it's over 600 people in 60 days believed in this. There's got to be something there. I mean, 100% there's something there. And Tony's been successful in this. We've been successful in this. Tony sold his company out to other companies. And he's taken what he knows. Like, listen, nobody taught Tony how to do the restaurant industry either. The delivery industry, right? Nobody taught you. They had to figure it out on their own. So it's best when you can figure it out and you're learning from somebody that went through all the things. I was talking to someone today and I told him, listen, the only reason I ever became successful is I figured out every other way to do it wrong. And that's in the delivery business, I promise you, Tony could say that's probably true too. Found ways to do it wrong. Hey, this didn't work. Found another way to do it wrong. That didn't work, and put it together. So I don't want to take a lot of your time together tonight. I just want to explain to you, we have a promotion going on. Right now, people can sign up. Tony showed you it's $299. You become a manager with our company. What that does is that gives you access to all of our software for a year. You don't have to pay a monthly fee. You don't have to do all these other things. You're not involved with a company where next month you're going to have to buy shampoo and a certain amount of it. You're going to have to buy diet pills. You're going to have to do any of that stuff. What we're doing is we're changing the buying habits of people. They're going to order food. People, I mean, listen, you're not even been with us yet. You're going to find out as you go along, the people that order from delivery, order it Monday, may skip Tuesday, may do it Wednesday, Thursday. I mean, sometimes they usually do it 3 to 5 times a week. And I'll tell you that's the truth because my child does it. When we first started our delivery company, I'll tell you this real quickly. I had a 3-story place out here in Florida. I was on the top. My middle son was on the second, and my youngest son was on the third. And we started this delivery company, and all of a sudden an order came in, and it was from my son on the first floor. And I'm like, he already figured out where the app is. He already figured out how to order on it. And now I got to find out which credit card he used. So I called him and I go, what are you doing ordering on our company? He goes, I want to support your business. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's it. You don't want to get out of bed on a Saturday morning and go get food. And I said, whose card did you use? And he goes, Mom's. And I'm like, all right, that's fine. Then let's go ahead with that order. But I was already divorced at the time. But so I'll just leave you with this. We have a promotion going on. We want to get people through the pay plan as quickly as possible, get you making as much money as we possibly can. So there's a level above manager. I don't know if we showed a lot of that, but the level above manager, there's supervisor, there's director, and there's executive director. There's 5 levels in the company: manager, supervisor, director, and executive director, and free customer. The second level up, you get 20% off any customers, any restaurants you bring in. You get 10% as a manager off of the people underneath them. What we're going to do this month is this. If you decide to make a commitment and get to that manager level, $299, and then you introduce someone else over the next, I don't know how many days are left in the month, 20 days, 21 days, something of that nature. By the end of the month, if you can find yourself and one other person that gets the manager and says, hey, I'm going to make this commitment. I'm going to start getting restaurants. I'm going to start getting customers. I'm going to, start getting drivers. I want to build this thing. We're going to promote you, not to the level of manager. And listen, you can look at the qualifications it takes to get to manager. You're going to leapfrog from manager. You're going to go up to the level of supervisor, whether you have all the qualifications for it or not. If you get yourself registered as a manager and you find one other person over the next 21 days, and I'll tell you right now, it's not hard. You put people on these overviews, you get them on the phone with myself or Tony or some of the other leadership that we have getting started in the company. We have some amazing people that are already talking to people and putting people in the system. And like Tony said, we have people that have been in this industry that have, they've seen every other company on the earth when it comes to network marketing or whatever you want to call it. They've seen all these different companies and they look at this and go, this is the real deal. This is a residual, true thing that I can build because people are going to order food every month. You're not going to have to call people up and go, hey, you want to order Taco Bell today? Hey, you want to order Outback? Hey, you're not going to have to ask that. People eat. So it's amazing what happens. And it's this real true. We've all talked about residual income. This is the most true residual income business I've ever seen in my whole life. It truly, truly is. And the way we put it together is when our pay plan is maxed out, we pay out 60% out of every dollar to the field. We don't go put it on a Super Bowl. And I'm not saying we won't ever have a Super Bowl commercial, but we're not going to take the money in the beginning to go get customers. We're going to rely on the people in the company. If you go get a customer, guess what? That's your customer for life. You're not gonna get it taken away from you. We're not gonna go spend millions of dollars on Super Bowl commercials. We're gonna do everything in our power to help you make as much money as you possibly can. You can will this to your kids. I won't be willing my part of mine to mine. I'm just kidding. He's 19 and he's on my nerves most of the days, but still a good kid. But you know what? Even my child understands this. The other night he's sitting out. I told him he couldn't come in the house because I was doing a call. He sat at the door and listened to it. And he goes, this is the best one you and Tony done yet. And I'm like, what? And he goes, this is the best company are going to have. And my son's seen me build companies that were worth $20, $30 million. He's been around Tony. Tony came and did a seminar for one of our companies. And Hunter, my son, was 9 years old, and it was about financial education. Hunter's sitting at the back writing notes at 9 years old, listening to Tony. And then he went to all of my friends and tried to get them to sign up in the company that we were involved in at that time. So he tried to snake me, but that's all right. So I don't want to take any more of your time tonight. We're so excited about what's going on, and we have not even scratched the surface of where this is going to go. Like I tell people all the time, get involved right now, but don't expect it to be perfect. Nothing's going to be perfect right now. Give us another month, and this company you see right now you won't even recognize it. Then another month and another month and another month. And I really, truly believe within 12 to 18 months, we'll start making a huge dent in the big guys. And with 18 to 24 months after that, I think it's going to be over. And we haven't even talked about adding other deliverables in. You can deliver alcohol, you can deliver groceries, you can deliver prescriptions at some point. And I'm not saying we'll do this, but they'll be able to deliver cannabis. And I mean, we're going to have a piece of everything that goes on with that. And we're going to do it with amazing people. And I'll leave you with this. There's three types of people we talk to on a daily basis. First type person looks at this and goes, you know what? I'm excited. I want to become a free customer. I want to introduce some other people. I'll do that all day long. Second type person goes, you know what? I'm interested in that manager where I can become a supervisor. I'm interested in that. I want to get more questions answered. I want to find out a little bit more. I just want some more things answered. That's fine. We'll get those answered for you. Third type person's like I was. When I met my mentor at 22, and I was broke, living with a guy in a house, got 3 guys in a house, and I wasn't going anywhere. And he goes, listen, if you listen to what I'm telling you and you pay attention to what I teach you, you will be able to create money for the rest of your life. I wasn't smart. I didn't go to college. I didn't do any of those things, but I started paying attention to how to talk to other people, to how to build companies, to how to make people, he taught me one thing that was more major than anything else. For people to work with you, they have to trust you and they have to like you. And I said, listen, I have a decent personality. I mean, I think people like me, and I try to keep my word. I try to always be transparent, and I try to tell the truth. And growing up, those are not anything anyone told me would make me money. They told me you got to go to school, you got to get good grades. I'm telling you, you fall into one of those 3 categories. If you're fall into that 3rd category, go to snapdelivered.com tonight, click on the deal, pay the $2.99. We'll start getting you acclimated into the system over the next couple of days. There's going to be some glitches, there's going to be some hiccups, but we're working those on a daily basis. And I promise you, give us 6 months. We started this 60 days ago. If you would have seen it 60 days ago, it was nothing. 60 days later, we have over 600 people. We have hundreds of restaurants that are already getting started with us. And we're going to rip this thing open, and we're going to turn this industry on its ear. And I put in an email last night. We're going to put a dent in the universe. And that dent in the universe is going to be in the delivery world. So I appreciate your time. Thanks, guys, and have a great night.